Today, we visited the Hoa Lo Prison. A somber place, which is a lot more than a museum, is a historical site in Hanoi, Vietnam. The prison was built in the heart of the city. Most of the old camp is now condos and commercial sites. The prison was surrounded by very tall walls, capped with razor wires, electrical cables, and broken glass. It was considered in the top 10 most feared prisons in the world and one of the top 5 most inhumane prisons in Asia. It was originally built by the French during their occupation to suppress the anti-colonial movements, and it was later used by North Vietnam to detain U.S. soldiers as POWs during the Vietnam War. The living conditions for prisoners at this prison were extremely harsh. During the 1800s as well as during the Vietnam War in the 1960s and 70s, the prison was filthy, infested, and overcrowded. It held Vietnamese men, women, and children, many who died in the prison during the French colonial occupation. Hoa Lo had several buildings, each given nicknames such as Heartbreak Hotel, the New Guys Village, and Little Vegas by the American prisoners. The main building where most of the prisoners were held, although it was very crowded with 30 prisoners, sometimes held up to 100 prisoners. The prisoners' feet were shackled 1 foot at a time to allow them some freedom of movement, but also to be able to heal their ankles due to the wounds inflicted by the rough metal. The prisoners endured miserable and unsanitary conditions, and the prison was sarcastically nicknamed the Hanoi Hilton by the American POWs in reference to the well-known Hilton hotel chain. The prison did have a torture chamber also during its operation, which forced the prisoners to face severe physical and psychological hardships. It was used to interrogate and extract information from them. In the 1930s, it even had a guillotine, used to behead Vietnamese revolutionary patriots. It's a chilling reminder of the brutality that occurred within those walls. The prison was demolished in part in the 1990s, but its gatehouse remains as a museum. The most famous prisoner at the Hanoi Hilton was Senator John McCain, who spent 5.5 years there with other notable prisoners. There were several escape attempts and stories of resilience from the American prisoners held in the prison during the Vietnam War. One of the most famous stories of bravery is that of John McCain. Despite being severely tortured and enduring harsh conditions, McCain refused an offer of early release unless all prisoners were released with him. Other prisoners also attempted to escape. Some managed to escape but were recaptured, while others were successful and eventually made it back to the American lines. These stories of resilience and courage demonstrate the strength and determination of the prisoners held at Hoa Lo Prison in Vietnam. So as we end this video in the dedication hall, I hope we all are reminded once again of the horrible results of war and the never-ending benefits of peace and freedom. And we thank you guys for being with us through this video, through this tour of the Hoa Lo prison, and we will see you in the next one.